Hey, this is Chris Walker with EvangelismCoach.org, and in today's video I want to give reasons as to why church greeters might need some training, and then second of all, provide 10 quick tips for church greeters. Now, I regularly read greeter commentary on Twitter, and it is pretty clear to me after reading several of those comments that it might be a good practice to occasionally have an updated training for your church greeters. Check out this series of tweets, people commenting about their current experiences with church greeters. Just remembered a greeter at church slipped me a note with his number in it. I guess I have to be polite, call and let him down easy. Upon leaving church this morning, the greeter at the door told me to stay sober while everyone else got Happy New Year. Nothing quite ruins my Sunday church experience like the 65-year-old greeter who tries to mouth kiss me every time I go. You're a greeter at church, but you don't like people? Why? Nothing like being a church greeter than having shaken hands with someone who tells you about their hospitalization for an intestinal bug. When the greeter at church door is picking his nose with his shaking hand, as I walk in, it makes me think I'm not super welcome. Every now and then, church greeters do need some training. For those of you who are involved in the organization and recruitment of your church greeters, I put together a little ebook that you can purchase at that website that you see on the screen at churchgreetertraining.com. It's one of the most popular products that I offer, and it's really written for those who are the coordinators or those who are the organizers or those who are involved in relaunching a greeter ministry at church. Now let me give you the 10 tips for church greeters. These will go by really quick, but nonetheless they are important reminders. Number 1, smile. Check out the tweet on the screen. Church greeters who just scowl when they are told good morning really need to evaluate their spiritual gifts. Tip number 2, fresh breath. It is someone once said to me that the word of life should not be met with a breath of death. You should also be able to read that tweet on the screen. I know we are in church, but if you're going to be a greeter, chew some gum. Different suggestion, if you don't want to have gum in your sanctuary, put a bowl of mints where the greeters and ushers can take care of those. Number 3, make eye contact. Eye contact is a sign of warmth, and as you are passing out bulletins or as greeters are shaking hands with people as they walk in the door, eye contact is simply a sign of warmth. Many times I've walked into certain situations where the greeters are looking at somewhere else or having another conversation, and I just walk right on by. There is a sense of coldness when that happens. Number 4, take the initiative and greet somebody. In smaller churches, this may be easier to do because visitors will stand out. They'll be somewhat obvious. But once you get over a membership of about 200 or so, knowing who the strangers are and who might be attending another service or even visiting another campus may be a little bit of difficulty. But if you are serving as a greeter, take the initiative to actually greet somebody that you may not know. After all, you may wind up greeting a visitor. That brings me to tip number 5. One question that you may want to avoid is asking the question, are you new? That may put you in a socially awkward moment, in a socially awkward situation where no, they are not new, they just may be visiting for the first time in a long time, or they may be visiting from a different service, or perhaps even a different campus in some of the larger churches. Tip number 6, another question not to ask is this your first time here? You may want to avoid that particular question. In fact, check out the tweet on the screen. You know you haven't been home in a while when a greeter at your childhood church asks if this is your first time visiting. Awkward. And it may be true. This is one question that can put your visitors on the spot or even put your greeter on the spot. Greeter tip number 7. Go ahead and offer a bulletin if your church uses them. A bulletin or a program, whatever it is that you call them. This could be the role of a greeter to go ahead and pass that out. Tip number 8. Personal warmth. In other words, look like you enjoy welcoming people. Check out this tweet on the screen. Ushers are supposed to be attractive. What's the essence of welcoming someone to church with an unfriendly face? Sometimes people with scowls, people who do not seem to be joyful in working in that position, simply present a cold front. With this particular tip, just remember, be warm and friendly. Greeter tip number 9. Here's something that you can say to a stranger that you do not know. You can say, I don't think I've met you yet. My name is. For instance, this is something I do all the time. With someone that I don't recognize, someone that I don't know, I go ahead and I take the time to just simply introduce myself. By coming at it in this direction, it helps me to avoid asking, is this your first time here? Greeter tip number 10, finally, is if they are new to your church, go ahead and offer to show them where the restrooms are if they need it, and go ahead and offer information about childcare as is the custom of your church. These are quick 10 tips that you can use to remind church greeters of some of the things that they are called to do. If you're looking for a resource on training church greeters, I've put together a DVD or a digital download, and it's called the Greeter Training Webinar number 1. It's the first one that I offered, and it was recorded, and it's basically a narrated PowerPoint, but it really goes for greeters. And one of the most popular segments on there is conversational small talk for new greeters. You can find it at evangelismcoach.org/store, and you can either get it as a DVD or digital download. Look forward to seeing you from the next time.